Welcome to Living Abundantly with Shari. I am so happy and honored you're here with me. Here at Living Abundantly, we know that when we feel abundant, we attract abundance. It's an inside job. I am your host, Shari, and I am an internationally two-time #1 best-selling author with another book launching in 2024 and an expert lifestyle designer. I'm absolutely delighted to take this journey with all of you. But I am over the moon excited about my first guest. He has been an inspiration of mine, and I'm sure many of you. Greg Louganis is a 5-time Olympic medalist. He holds 5 world championship titles and 47 national titles. He is an author, coach, actor, speaker, activist, and humanitarian. Oh my gosh, Greg, what an honor to have you on Living Abundantly.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Greg, you are no stranger to triumphs and challenges. I learned on my journey that my hardships and traumas helped me grow, expand, and really connect to my most authentic self. Could you tell our viewers how your hardships have abundantly transformed your life?
Well, it's really interesting. We need to recognize those traumas and and allow them space, to find out what we learned from them. So it's been fascinating. Because I was raped, and I hit my head on the diving board. There's all kinds of things that we can pick up, that we kind of leave in our bodies, and we really need to embrace those and welcome them and alchemize them and get to the other side of what did we learn?
Yes.
What were the lessons?
Yes. And I feel that, our traumas actually can be, our friends, if you will, because sometimes we just want to push them away.
Well, you need to acknowledge them, embrace them, and then allow them to alchemize the gifts that they give. The one thing that because let's take the rape. Initially you're the victim, and then all of a sudden you come to survivor. And everybody celebrates the survivor. So a lot of times people get stuck there. They get stuck in survivor because as long as you're holding on to a piece of the survivor, you're still holding on to a piece of the victim. And so to get to a place of forgiveness and understand, well, it gave me all of these gems of empathy, to that I'm stronger than I believed myself to be. I'm here. I'm safe. I'm healthy, and so getting beyond that, and that's something that really came to me in a meditation, was what if there was nothing to forgive?
And I've been listening to your absolutely wonderful podcast, Greg Louganis is Alive. And I heard you talking about how you are able to actually tap into the sensations in your body in your healing process. And I heard you mention your mind lies, your body tells the truth. So what techniques or practices have been most helpful for you to understand what these actual sensations mean?
Well, it's just getting quiet. You quiet down your environment to be aware, do a body scan. Okay, where, from head to toe, okay, where am I feeling maybe a little bit of congestion, a little tightness, or anything like that? I investigate. It really is inquiring. Okay, what is that? Oh, have a little, knot in my stomach. What is that? What's that about? What does that have to teach me?
as we come to the end of our time together, I always like to ask a final question. If you could, define your life in one abundant word, what word would that be today?
Yeah, so my word for today is, and it's always changing because life is impermanent and you really have to honor that wherever you are. And for today, I would say that grace would be my word because it 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 is fluidity and movement. Things are graceful, also giving other people grace as far as allowing them to be who they are, honoring that, and also honoring ourselves.
Beautiful. Well, thank you again for being here, and I wish you grace.
Thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Thank you so
I
much.
received that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. The holidays can be a very abundant celebration of family and friends, and food, of course, is what we share together. My next guest is someone who knows quite a bit about food, family, entertainment. Chef Nina is the owner of Vitri's Cucina in Chesapeake City, Maryland, and was so wonderful on our first episode. We just had to ask her back, and she agreed because we are really fun around here. So welcome back.
Thank you so much. So happy to be here today.
So what I absolutely love is that you're changing it up a bit from the traditional holiday festivities and creating your masterpiece with these Cornish game hens. And I know I've offered the same to my family at Thanksgiving celebration. So most people enjoy turkey during the holidays. Why do you enjoy cooking these Cornish hens as an alternative?
Well, it might sound silly, but I really don't want to wrestle a turkey at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I am right there with you. Absolutely. Yes.
And I think one of the big things is it frees up a lot of oven space and fridge space to make other delicious desserts or treats for your guests.
And I know we have a lot of them here. So, and I am all about the decor when entertaining, whether for the holidays or for a dinner party, and it can really add the perfect amount of abundance to a table.
Absolutely.
And I love how you're using your main dish as your centerpiece. Can you explain why you do that?
I love using nature at my fingertips. It's all around us. It's so beautiful, especially when the fall leaves are changing. This actually is my holiday wreath on my door.
There you go.
So if we just lift this up and you put your beautiful dish down or your bowl and you have your Cornish hen or whatever cuisine that you have for that holiday. You can use pine cones,
love
all types of sorts of things.
I love that idea because how many of us have wreaths that we don't know what to do with, right? So, and I love this abundant bounty of food because food can be absolutely glorious. So can you just explain a little bit what it's, I wish there was smell-o-vision.
We just said that, absolutely. So already in the pan, I have the Cornish hen and we are going to top this off with just a little bit of salt and some Italian seasoning and pepper.
Yeah.
And then in the bottom, I have a little bit of butter and a little bit of brown sugar. And then what we're going to do is pour a little bit of pear juice. Now you don't have to use pear juice. You can use apple juice, orange juice, but you don't want to soak it because we're going to put this in the oven and we want to roast it.
Okay.
And then we're going to make some beautiful pears if you would like to make one with some gorgonzola cheese.
Yes. I love this.
And then the goat cheese. And of course, goat cheese is a really pungent cheese, so that's why I like to use an alternative with the goat cheese.
Yes, beautiful.
And then what we'll do is we'll pop these right in here. Real nice. And again, it's decorating. You're decorating your centerpiece because this transforms into this over here.
Wow.
So we'll place them in there. You can put one in there.
All right. Right.
So we're just going to pour this in like so.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. And what's unique is when we bring this out of the oven, it gives it this caramelized texture right on top. So the higher the heat, the higher the texture on top of the Cornish hen. It's going to be really delicious.
Oh my gosh.
And we're still decorating, just like you like to do.
Absolutely.
And then we can just put some of these on top.
Rosemary and
thyme.
And My favorite thing is it's so simple.
Oh, yes.
And there's not like this giant that you have to take out all the innards and, all that. I absolutely
One
love
pot.
this.
That's my favorite thing. Is
One
one
pot
pot
meal.
recipes.
Yes.
Because think of it, then we would have had pears over here and popping that in the oven. It's just one simple thing.
I know. I wish all of you could enjoy the smells that are coming from these beautiful pots here. So
Love
before we wrap, I mean, we could actually, we are going to have a feast
Yes.
after this. So before we wrap here, you remember that question that I ask at the end of each segment. So what is one abundant word that best describes your beautiful holiday gatherings?
So it's the word that I would best describe this is music, the abundance of music, because I listen to music every day, all day. And when I hear the holiday songs are coming on, it reminds me of being together as family. I know the holidays are coming. I know Thanksgiving. I know Christmas, laughter, joy, being with my family. So and so it's music.
So what I hear you saying is that you love to cook with music, because music is energy.
Yes.
And it creates that ambiance in the kitchen. I love this. So, oh my gosh, thank you again for joining us, Nina. And I cannot wait to have you back, because I know I'm going to be hungry.
I'm coming back again.
Yeah. So stay where you are. We will be right back.
Thank you.
I am so fascinated by the story of my next guest. McKenna Reitz is a TED Talk speaker and former AP psychology teacher. McKenna is a beacon of resilience and empowerment who's turned her alopecia journey into a powerful call for strength. Her book, Never Have a Bad Hair Day, is more than just a memoir. It's a powerful guide to transforming adversity into strength, and McKenna has used her alopecia journey to inspire others and to shine her unique light. Welcome to the show, McKenna. It is my absolute pleasure to hear your inspiring story.
Thank you so much for having me. What an honor and what a light that you shine with the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. In your book that I have right here, Never Have a Bad Hair Day, and I absolutely love that title, you talk a lot about resilience and embracing life's challenges. What do you hope readers will take away from the journey and the lessons that you've shared?
To understand they're not alone. I have an incredible responsibility that my story just happens to be visible. And I want to be the empowerment for those who are hiding their challenges, and to understand that we're all going through something. We all have a story. We're all battling something. And we have to give ourselves that grace period and to understand we're still here fighting every single day. And we don't give ourselves enough strength or enough power to understand that.
Yes, and I absolutely love that, you're so open with your story of alopecia and how it's actually shaped your life. How's writing this book helped you in, your own journey, and how do you hope it will help others?
It's really difficult to use words. It is really difficult to express our feelings. Over the past 9 years, I have tried to find the words and how to really emulate what I experienced. And everyone's heard the story on the surface, but now it was time to really hear the day-by-day struggles that I really went through. And usually when I'm talking to people, I only have a 30-second here, 30 seconds there to really emphasize what I went through. But this is the opportunity to really kind of get into the darkness that we all go through, and the darkness I went through, and how I found the light because of it.
I love it. Your story, and I'm almost finished your amazing book, but your book is specifically about the abundant experience of alopecia. But what I love about your book is that readers can actually use your healing to help with any experience that they're really living through. You include reflective questions at the end of each chapter. Why was it important for you to make the book interactive this way? And how do you think readers will benefit from this approach?
As a teacher of 18 years, my goal is always to be challenging my students, to be challenging those that are in front of me. And I hope that as they're reading word for word, chapter by chapter, they're able to compare and see their own life. You know, that they're being inspired by what I went through and seeing what they've gone through. And so I want to challenge them to take that time for reflection because we don't do it enough.
We don't.
And this is challenging them of, even if they don't take the time to write it down, at least they're thinking about it and they're reflecting, which is going to empower them to understand what they've been through, how they've gotten through it, and where they're going.
Yes, I absolutely love the chapter where you're kind of revealing your alopecia journey to your students. But your book is definitely a must-have, not just about alopecia, but just about how we handle struggles. And, you know I've had mine, and if it's okay with you, I would like to ask you one last question.
Yeah.
If that's okay.
Of course.
What would you say is one abundant word that best describes this journey that you've been on? And you can expand if you want.
Yeah.
But I always go with one abundant word.
I live relentlessly.
Relentless.
It is.
Ooh.
Oh, that has been my, as a college athlete, to a teacher, to a mom, to going through hair loss in just 3 weeks.
Yes.
It's about continuing to show up even when you don't want to.
Yes.
Sometimes, you have to redefine your definition of all in. And it's just about being relentless nothing's going to stop me.
Yes.
And our days are always going to be different.
Yes.
And to understand we are never having a bad hair day.
Yes.
It's all about reframing that mindset to understand that we are always having a great hair day.
It's about reframing for sure.
Yeah.
McKenna, chatting with you has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. And I am confident that you are going to keep inspiring others to live authentically and abundantly. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much
from my heart for being here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yes, thank you so much.
you.
We will be right back, so don't go away. We're filling today's episode with inspiration and gratitude. And I want to take a moment to express my gratitude to all of you for watching the show. Speaking of being grateful, my next guest is Shari Biery. She is a purpose and well-being coach. I absolutely love that title. She is the founder of Alive with Purpose Coaching and specializes in empowering midlife women, particularly those with high-achieving spouses, to reclaim their own identities and prioritize their well-being. Oh my gosh, Shari, welcome to the show. I am so inspired by your book and your story.
Well, thank you for having me. It's so good to be with you.
I am so happy you're here. The title of your book is It's Your Turn. Can you share the story behind the title and what it truly means for women to take their turn?
Yeah, I was a military spouse for 20 years, following my guy all around. And I was always taking care of him, the family, kids, getting them enrolled in school and the different things. And I noticed that I was always focused on them, but not necessarily myself. So at his military retirement ceremony, he handed me the American flag and said, "It's your turn."
Oh.
And I just know that as women, we take care of so many people in our lives, and it's easy not to focus on ourselves.
Oh, I got chills when I heard that. That's a beautiful, beautiful story. But in the book, you talk about the concept, I think you've coined it now, of the helium hand. Can you explain what that is and how it affects women taking their turn?
Yeah, the helium hand, especially in the military spouse community, we're so focused on helping everyone succeed that we're constantly raising our hands. So there's this line of service that runs through our blood being part of that group. But it extends further with women. We always raise our hand to volunteer for that PTO project or a project that is going on. And so we're constantly saying yes, that we have to sit on our helium hands sometimes and just take care of ourselves.
I love that analogy. That's profound. So to many, Boundaries. Boundaries get a really bad rap. How does setting boundaries play a role in creating a more abundant life? And what's maybe a practical step to start setting those boundaries?
Yeah, with all of us, it's not just money that's abundance, about abundance, as you've said. It's our time, it's our energy, and it really is our well-being. And when we can focus on not necessarily always giving back to someone else, but fueling ourselves first, we have to really look at how can we set boundaries within those things.
Yes.
And so the things that I love to focus on are, just for example, asking for help, being able to delegate. But one important thing that I do is look at my schedule in my calendar and I say, is there one thing that really I want to get off my plate that doesn't excite me anymore? It doesn't make me jump out of bed.
Oh, bring you joy.
Yeah.
Well, what word of encouragement can you offer to women who might say, yeah, easy for you, but it's, sometimes it might be hard for them to start taking their turn. What would you offer? What advice would you offer to them?
In my own life, I recognized that I was always wrapping my worthiness into how busy I was, how many things I was doing rather than who I was being. And I really needed to understand that my value was who I am from the very beginning. And it's easy to diminish ourselves by thinking we're not doing enough. And so really getting focused on who we get to be, fueling ourselves first, and having those healthy boundaries in place can help us be able to know we're worthy.
I think busyness is an epidemic.
Yes.
So I have absolutely loved watching you shine. I know you personally, but I love watching you shine here today. But as we wrap, what would you say is one abundant word that describes your life after you began taking your turn?
I think for me, it really is about worthiness. Understanding our value and our worthiness.
Beautiful.
When we do that, we can shine for so many people when we know we matter.
Yes, first we shine within and then we shine on the outside. I love that. Shari, thank you so much for your insights and being here on the show. I cannot wait to see where this goes. So thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. We have so much more, so we'll be right back. I am all about our inner energy, and that energy we feel inside becomes the magnet of what we attract in our lives. Laughter and joy have a very high frequency and are the perfect formula for living abundantly. So in that case, our next guest is as abundant as they come. Dennis Appel is a retired construction worker and a content creator at Dad's Got Moves. His philosophy of dancing and laughter as the best medicine makes him my kind of guy, and Dennis makes quite an entrance wherever he goes. So much fun. Thank you for being here, Dennis.
Look at me. I'm on Sarah V.
Yes.
Oh. Brooklyn in the house.
Yes. So thank you so much for bringing so much joy to all of us. And I want to ask you, how did Dad's Got Moves get started?
Dad's Got Moves started a long time ago. I started dancing around the house, entertaining my children. And then the years went by, and then my daughter's Sweet 16 came. and we were in a total improvisational. We told a DJ play a song. She played Joe Cocker's "You're So Beautiful to Me." I told him I'll play a funky song, total improvisation. He played "Let Me Clear My Throat." We did this whole thing. All the kids were bored, and they jumped up, ran to the dance floor, and they cheered us on. So that was the birth of Dance Got Moves. But there was no social media then, 12 years ago.
Oh, yes. We were in like the Byzantine Empire.
Yeah.
You
Couldn't put it on TikTok, Instagram, just YouTube. So we got like 25,000 views on YouTube, but then it hit a spot, stopped, and we waited till social media kicked in, and then my daughter started Dance Got Moves 6 years ago on Instagram, and 5 years ago on TikTok.
I absolutely love your joy that you've, spread far and wide on social media. It must have been so inspiring to wake up every day to all your raving fans. But I'm curious, what were the best comments that you received from social media?
Oh, it's pretty simple. 2 women battling breast cancer messaged us, my daughter, and said, your dad's videos got us through chemo. And I never realized why I was dancing. People tell me you run out of moves, but I really do for the people having a hard day. You made my day. Just recently got Parkinson's, said I danced through you. I mean, these are things I have. I don't wish for fame, fortune. I have a blessed life. I don't want to change my life.
Yes.
But to make these people smile and laugh just makes my day.
And beautiful. And I'm assuming that that's why you continue to dance.
Yes.
Is to spread this joy.
Yes.
Because dancing movement has an energy to it.
Very therapeutic.
Absolutely.
I want to get up and dance. I feel like I'm stuck in this chair.
Yeah, really. So my final question to you, Dad's Got Moves. What is one word that best describes your dancing and your life right now? One word.
One word. Laughter. My goal is to bring laughter to everybody. Put a smile on your face. Like I said again, I'm not a professional. I'm not taught. And it's always been to make you laugh and smile.
Laugh and smile.
And have a great day.
Don't we all need that?
Yes. So much.
So, Dennis, thank you so much. How can viewers watch more of your fancy moves?
Well, Dad's Got Moves on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. We're just starting to kick in more with YouTube, but that's the best way to follow us.
Beautiful. So, oh my gosh, that was so fun. And I got to wear my sparkly
Love the
disco
outfit. Love the look. Love the dance partner.
I don't normally wear these, but I wore them just for you. Thank you so much for coming on Living Abundantly. Thank you. Well, my beautiful friends, I can't think of a better way to wrap the show. I truly hope you feel inspired to shine your light brightly from within. Here's to living your most abundant life. And for more content and inspiration, follow us on my YouTube channel, Living Abundantly with Sarah V. And I will see you next time.
The proceeding was sponsored by Sarah V. LLC.